Hello, everyone.
We're not going yet.
Oh, well.
And 3. What? Where'd it go? Sorry, I read for the ad. It was there, and then I think I accidentally removed it when I was... Here we go.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
It's the Watchmen, and you're listening to 91.7 The Edge, WSUW Whitewater.
We got Drake here.
Yes.
We got myself, Riley.
You do have me.
Hoping
Hi.
that people are listening.
Having a safe night, listening to the radio.
It's a rainy night, too.
A little bit spooky, huh? A little bit spooky night.
Sure, Drake. All right, Drake. Let's talk.
Let's talk
About
what do you
movies.
want to talk about?
About movies, if you could guess. Tell me what you got. Come on.
Did I watch anything? Did you watch anything? I have to think. I have to look. Let me look at IMDb.
I feel stupid. I should have had this up. Oh, I finished The Outsider.
How's that? How's the ending?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's my problem with the show.
Let's hear it.
And my mom is having a similar problem. She likes it more than I do. I still like it. I'm going to finish it because I want to see where it ends. But I feel like I think I'm on 7.
Sorry, I missed that. Could you say it again? Please?
Nice Siri timing.
So I'm on, I think, episode 7. And I just feel like the past, 3 episodes, the same thing happens. I feel like nothing, it hasn't really gone anywhere. I can tell that they're setting stuff up.
Yeah.
But each episode, there's, nothing that important that happens. Thing shows up.
Yeah.
And then...
Here's the thing with me. I can understand what you're saying, but I like the characters a lot, so I like their dialogue with each other and them trying to... Because obviously a key thing in the show is attempting to believe in something that seems unbelievable. That's definitely a key part of it.
Yeah.
But, which I think it does well. But my biggest problem is that towards its end, I don't know what really I was expecting, I guess, for its finale, but something about it just didn't feel quite right or enough. Not saying I wanted more in terms of intensity. I just something different.
I really like the first 2 episodes. Those are by far the most interesting. And then
I can agree with you.
3 is all right,
really
and then
like
4, 5, 6 have been a drag big time, at least for me. I feel like nothing has happened. They're just setting stuff up.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna still watch it because I want to finish it. But let's see.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Curb episode.
I really liked it.
It was good. Yeah, it was a good one.
It is a good one. It's a great one. Did you like? Wait, I don't want to say specifics for people that want to watch this
I'm trying to see
beautiful
if
show.
I watched anything.
I liked who was in this one again? John Hamm.
No,
I liked him in this episode. What?
The woman from It's Always Sunny.
Oh well, yeah. She was in the earlier seasons
she's
too, playing
his
Cheryl's sister.
In one of the best episodes, the beloved aunt.
Oh, beloved. Yep. And then in the paper, what it says, yeah, that's
Let's
a good
see.
one.
I don't know how to get to my watch list. Here we go.
Let's hear it.
I don't know if I watched anything. I feel like I did, but if I did, it wasn't.
I'll say something I watched
added.
then, since you're taking too long to
I
scroll.
just don't think I watched anything.
So I have The Foreigner on here. It was that movie with Jackie Chan.
Oh yeah, I started that with my dad, and it was really bad, and then we stopped.
Didn't care for it. It was weird. By the way, the entire movie, you could still have the whole movie essentially without Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And isn't that strange? The main character of your movie feels very disconnected from the rest of the plot that they devote a lot of time.
Good.
They devote much more time to Pierce Brosnan than you're really expecting.
Yeah.
And it's strange because, like I said, you can almost remove Jackie Chan from this movie and essentially the same thing would happen. The same plot would unroll, just minus him.
Yeah.
Nothing really that drastically different would be there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't even know really why I watched it, but whatever. I also rewatched Edge of Tomorrow again because I just really wanted to watch it.
That's a good movie.
That's
a really good movie.
It is. It's super good. There's supposed to be a sequel coming out sometime soon. I don't know how you would do that or the context of this sequel. But that movie's really good. I really like that movie. Talking about an underrated sci-fi.
Yeah.
You know that movie made like
Do you
no
like
money?
that better, or do you like? Well, you're gonna say that, but Source Code.
Oh,
Source Codes is really good though.
This. I mean, they both have that similar element in the fact that they repeat the same kind of chunk of events.
Right.
But, and a lot of, there's one movie that I really don't like their usage of it. Two, I should say. I'm not a big fan of Groundhog's Day. Let me be honest with you.
Me neither.
Don't much care for it, and in
No.
fact, it gets really
You know what
it gets
movie
on my
I
nerves.
hate?
That does
That
it.
kind of does something
What?
similar. Vantage Point.
Yes, I was about to say Vantage Point too.
hate that
was my
movie.
second one. Remember how I said, I had two that I want to talk about. Vantage Point is another movie that is just painful. They're
Yeah.
like beating you in the face. At least like with this movie, they like in Edge of Tomorrow, they actually skip over those moments again. But in this movie, Vantage Point, they
I
just
know.
painfully punch you in the face to make you live the same event again and again and again and again from each perspectives.
Yeah.
Just painful. Didn't care for it. I'm curious to see where the sequel will go. Also, there was a weird thing too where the movie kept being titled differently in different places, because the book was called Live, Die, Repeat. That was the name of the book, but they switched it to Edge of Tomorrow to make it sound more edgy.
Yeah.
But I noticed that there was a thing because it didn't make a whole lot when it came out because nobody talked about it, and then the word of mouth sort of spread its popularity across its vast. Look at this world. This is not very much at all.
For what?
So one thing you have to keep in mind is essentially not all the time, but almost probably about half. Okay, so when you see the budget for a movie, the budget for this movie was $178 million, which is a lot.
Yeah. How much did it make?
Worldwide gross $370 million. That's it.
Yeah.
If you think about it, a lot of that, not from this cost because they wouldn't show that.
Yeah.
But from their advertising. Think about advertising and then
Yeah.
them paying the actors to go around doing interviews and stuff for it.
Yeah.
That's another absolute massive load. That's literally what I meant to say. I
Yeah.
don't even know why I said that. An absolute massive load of money for all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, super good. Strange it didn't make a whole lot. Look at this. It only made in the U.S. $100 million. That's it.
That's insane.
That's it. That's just strange to me. Obviously, most of that would have come from overseas, but I think it just wasn't probably sold too well. People just, I don't think, had a whole lot of interest. And then I noticed that too, is that apparently within like some different overseas releases, they just called it Live, Die, Repeat
Yeah.
for some reason. It was like, that reminds me of the thing when Ford v Ferrari came out. They had they named it Le Mans 67 in other countries because
there are some movies. There was just one that I was looking at that I saw that, like, I saw someone talking about on YouTube by like a different name. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up.
But the reason why they named it differently outside of the U.S. was because I feel there's more of a stigma and focus probably in American culture on the idea of Ford versus Ferrari. That whole idea might be more compelling just on its own title. But then a big thing too is that a lot of these big races like this, international races, are more popular internationally than they are, I would say, in the U.S. So which is why they changed the name of the movie when it came to its international releases to Le Mans 67.
Right.
Which I think makes sense. Although it is kind of strange to think about how a movie essentially has two different titles.
Right.
I know sometimes it's weird too. I always wonder sometimes how they pick for like a lot of big movies that have a lot of curiosity around their release.
Yeah.
Sometimes what they'll do is to sort of throw people off. They'll have like a fake title for the script, like a working title for when they were shooting the movie.
Yeah.
So they'll give it like a what was it? When the Han Solo movie, the Solo Star Wars story movie, they called it Red Cup or something.
Yeah.
For this, like a Solo Cup, they just called it Red Cup. I think that was like their nickname for the movie.
I just find that
without
so
giving it
funny
an
where
official title.
it'll have a name for so long and then all of a sudden they'll just change it.
It's strange. But sometimes the title doesn't really have almost anything to do
I
with.
feel like
the
that's
actual
bad
thing.
for.
It's just weird.
I
Sometimes.
feel like that has to be bad for, like, marketing. You know what I mean? People expect one
Sure,
movie
but-
and maybe they don't see the name change.
Yeah,
and then,
but they know the movie's coming out. It's just that the script itself and the way that they refer to it on set is different for the
Right.
sake of turning away any unnecessary attention, possibly, for
Right.
some things. That's part of it.
yeah,
And perhaps if that script is leaked, they notice that it's called this, and they're like, what is this? I have no interest in this movie. I wanted to solo a Star Wars story.
yeah.
Whatever. But, yeah, look at this now. Look at this. Look how many people. So if you look at it, how many people have rated it now based from when it came out. So $100 million in the U.S.,
Yeah.
370 worldwide. Not very much for a movie which budget is to that scale. So then now look how many people have rated it. 570,000 people have rated it on IMDb.
Wow.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah. That is really weird.
Thinking about how much money each person spends for the sake of certain things. Actually, you know what? I wonder. What do you think is the movie has the most ratings? Like, has been seen or rated by the most people? What do you think?
It's probably.
Oh, I got an idea. This is what we'll do.
I have two in mind that
Here.
it could be.
Okay, give me one.
It's either Dark Knight
That's
or
probably a
The
good choice.
Godfather.
Okay.
Because
Which
those
one
are
do you think has more?
The Dark Knight.
Okay, let's look.
Actually, no.
You're gonna say
I'm
Godfather?
gonna say The Godfather because it's been around so long and
Alright.
the IMDb existed in like the 90s.
Yep. Here's the reveal.
Yeah.
Okay. I could also see how it could be The Dark Knight for the sake of it actually being
Because that's
Released
like
during
number
the
one on
internet.
the all-time,
when the internet was
or
out.
like number
also.
2 or something.
Possibly, but it's also possibly not. Okay, here we go. This is the number: 2,179,000 people have rated it on IMDb
Is it neither of what I
for
said?
Dark Knight. Hold on.
Oh,
I'm gonna
I see.
look. Here we go. Now I'm gonna look. Let's see if you're right. So you said The Godfather, right?
Yeah, those are my two.
Okay. Godfather. I like the first thing that pops up is some movie from 2020 that nobody cares called Godfather. Oh, well, it's a Bollywood movie. Whatever. Sorry.
I'm sure some people care.
We should test out. I didn't mean. I thought
I
it was like
know.
a nothing movie,
I
and
know.
then I saw it was a Bollywood movie. So I'm so sorry for those fans of Bollywood. All right. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Here's The Godfather.
Okay.
1.5 million. So
So Dark Knight.
yeah, Dark Knight.
Yeah. Well,
So-
do we know that that's the number one? I'll try to find it.
You mean on IMDb
Yeah.
of a top to 50?
No. I mean, with the most.
Oh, with the most. No, wait, I don't know if that's the most.
I'll look it up.
So far, Dark Knight has butchered that number. So, if there's any way we can find the one that has the most ratings. Oh gosh. Guess what I'm currently looking at in the ad. It's A Quiet Place Part 2. It's just plastered in
Here we
front of
go.
me.
I think this is a correct list.
Let's see.
Yeah. It's Shawshank.
It is Shawshank?
Yeah.
How boring people are.
Then The Dark Knight, then Inception, then Fight Club. Christopher Nolan, two of the top
Here's my
four.
thing. Here's my thing.
What?
I don't really care much for Fight Club. I don't dislike it.
Yeah,
I'm not a big
I have similar feelings to that movie that I have about
What about Usual Suspects? Is that what you're going to say?
no,
No, sorry. I tried to predict.
Pulp Fiction.
Well, that's a stupid thing to say.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's a stupid thing.
That's a personal opinion.
Stupid.
I've talked about it before. I like Pulp Fiction, yes, but I don't understand why everyone likes it so much. And I don't understand why it's people's favorite of him.
You're silly.
It's good, but it's not like I don't get what's so special about it. I guess that's how I should phrase it. I don't get what's so special about it.
I get you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Drink.
You're welcome.
Oh, the other thing I want to talk about, I was messaging you about it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about I only recently. It's strange how fast this thing is already in production
Yeah.
in its writing. When I didn't really hear a whole lot of it. Like it was only recently when I even heard this information.
Yeah.
And to see how fast it's already gone to production is that HBO is doing a Last of Us series.
Yeah.
based on the
Does
games.
it have anyone cast yet?
Currently, no. Obviously, you and I would pitch heavily for Hugh Jackman. There's
Yeah.
no way. I feel like, sure, you could do it with another person, but I feel like Hugh Jackman would.
I mean,
just
they
crush
get
it.
big people, so.
Although my only worry is that it might feel a little bit too much like Logan at times, based on its plot. You know what I mean? Because it is a little bit similar. Like Joel is much more, I would say, positive than Logan is, definitely. But it's similar in the fact that he's older. He's watching over a young girl
It'll remind me of.
to bring her to another place.
It'll remind me of.
What? Say it. I can't think of it. Whatever you're gonna say.
What's that movie called?
Another movie
Day
where-
of the Soldado.
Sicario.
Sicario. I was gonna say
2.
Suspiria. I could not think of the name.
Sicario 2 is literally a poor man's Logan plot, and then not interesting on top of that.
And really boring.
Wow, that movie sucked. I even told you, let's go. But then
I called exactly what was gonna happen.
Here's the thing. I don't know why I did that, because I didn't like the first movie. I didn't like any of the characters in the first movie. And then I said to myself, I want to watch a movie again with my 2 least favorite characters from that movie, being Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
They were my least
And
favorites.
it was
and it was all about them.
a sequel, so it was automatically
To a movie I
gonna be
also
worse.
didn't like on its own.
So I have no idea why you wanted to see it.
I don't know why you actually went with me.
Because you forced me.
You get partial blame, I think, for you showing
you
that.
had me at knife point, and you said you're gonna go see this movie.
That doesn't
It's
sound
the
right.
last thing you do.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
anyways, for The Last of Us, I would really like to see Hugh Jackman, but I can also see them how they may not be able to even tie him down for a series like this, especially one that may continue on for a while. So I could see them possibly shifting gears towards another actor, someone maybe a little smaller than Hugh Jackman, not physically.
Yeah.
What does that matter?
Who-
Why am I even saying that?
I'm trying to think who else.
Well, that's not. I'm just hoping, because I've heard that it's supposed to take at least the first season, either the entire first game, perhaps in its plot, or at least a good portion of the first game in its first season.
Yeah.
But they released a teaser, which isn't really a teaser. It was just an image of the Firefly symbol. That was it from HBO.
Oh,
they
that's
sent
it.
out.
I haven't even seen
But
that. I'll have to look
apparently,
it up.
what's happening is that PlayStation, they're not. It's not like a full production company that partnered with HBO, but Sony and I guess I would just say PlayStation on its own has partnered with HBO to produce at least 2 series that we know of.
Yeah.
One being The Last of Us, and one unknown currently.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about Last of Us a little bit more. But Last of Us, definitely one of our favorite games. One of the few single-player campaigns in a video game you've ever actually finished.
I finished a lot.
Like what?
But they were for the most part on Xbox 360 when I didn't have Xbox Live.
Yeah, when
so
you couldn't do anything else.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing. When
Let's
I
hear it.
get on, this isn't a video game radio show, but when I get on, I want to play with other people. 'Cause most of the time, the reason
Sure.
why I'm getting on, it's to get on and play with other people.
Okay.
So, plus I like the thing that single player games lack for me is the feeling of competition, which I really like.
I wonder if this even relates to your connection with drama shows. Because I know you're not a huge fan of watching
That
dramas.
has nothing to do with it.
Yes, it does.
What?
Because
How?
you get that time by yourself and get invested in a story that long. See, I think.
But
here's the
I
thing.
watch
I'm not trying to come after you.
psychoanalyze
Yeah, I'm
me.
psychoanalyzing you. I think that there's a deep connection here between your relation to enjoyment of TV shows, movies, and to how you enjoy video games.
Yeah.
I feel. But could you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
How that it's more about that commitment of time
Right.
to a story is to that scale. Whatever. Anyways, but I'm curious. Yeah, I want them to probably be as accurate as they can to the game. But a lot of the times that how people struggle is that one element. I think part of the reason why video game movies fail sometimes is that the filmmakers at times neglect to remember that there's that element of immersion when you're playing a video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That element of immersion, I think, adds to your enjoyment of the story. But if you're watching a movie, I guess you could be immersed-ish into a movie, but it's different.
Yeah.
Because whenever you watch a movie, you know you're watching a movie. I'm not saying like video games put you in a trance at all, but I'm just saying like because you're actually controlling the events of a video game and not that of a movie.
Right.
So I feel like it's different in terms of someone's enjoyment of it. So I think what they have to do is they have to take the highest quality effort they can when it comes to the writing of the characters. As long as you can get the two main characters right, I think you can have a pretty solid show.
Right.
As long as you get Ellie right, Ellie's being Ellie and Joel's being Joel, I think you could easily do it.
Yeah.
I could even see the pilot just being the actual first moment that happens in the video game, is where we see Joel. Hope it. Joel. It's like takes place like 10 years.
I hope it's not exactly like. I hope that they follow the story of the first one. I hope they don't just make their own thing. You know what I mean?
I also hope they expand on it. Is that what you're saying? Expand on it in some way?
Yeah, or at least. I would rather have them follow the events of the game than create their own thing.
Oh, of course not.
Because I feel like
it's going to follow that storyline. That's already confirmed that it is going to.
But like,
not the world, but
is it going to follow like
the characters, the main characters,
the same story that happened in the first one? Okay, good.
Yes,
I like that.
That's what I've at least.
I feel like there's less chance of them screwing it up. First of all, I'm not worried because it's HBO.
But I also feel sometimes is that
look it up.
Video game movies, like, here's the thing: the Assassin's Creed movie sucked. It did suck, but it had a semi-decent attempt at telling it from a different. Because the video games are all about Desmond.
Yeah.
And Altair and Ezio or whatever, those connections between those. Whatever. You don't play Assassin's Creed, but anyways. And then with that Assassin's Creed movie, they essentially took the same type of plot, just with a different person and a different historical background, which I think you could also do with certain video game movies. But I feel like with this, you have to have it be about Joel and Ellie, because they're the whole, what's the word I'm looking for? They're the crown jewel of the game itself, is those two characters.
Yeah.
You get them right, you write them well, I feel like everything else will fall into place where it needs to be. Make sure that they gotta make sure too that they avoid it feeling too much like Walking Dead. I mean, obviously they're gonna have similar.
I went to look it up and I didn't even look it up.
Obviously, they have similar elements, in the fact that it's all about survival and how, in a way, a big thing in Walking Dead is how people at times are worse. A lot of the time, are worse than the actual zombies that are out there, which is a very prevalent thing that we see in Walking Dead, but that's also very prevalent in the game. But as long as they actually focus on sort of the fungal background of the
fungal.
Remember, because of the fungus.
I know.
Yeah, I like my description of it, the fungal background, because hopefully they keep to the weird fungus thing. Because in the game, it's based on how this zombie apocalypse sort of starts. Is that there's a specific type of a fungus that can spread in ants and different insects. Oh, yeah. And what it does is it literally grows from their brain and in their body. It ends up killing them. Yeah. But in the sake of the game, in the story, they talk about how the clickers. But they talk about how that specific fungus has sort of mutated and now can affect people. And you can infect the same type of way just by biting, scratches, just like any other zombie thing. But that the fungus grows in your mind and distorts your reality to the point where you become a mindless monster, essentially. But yeah.
So
I'm interested.
So is the next one gonna come out?
Next what? Game?
Yeah, for.
No, it should be coming out in the fall. Is what I was seeing.
I thought okay.
I think they will release it. I'm assuming like a what am I saying? Either way, I'm still thinking they're going to put it on next gen. Drake is what I'm thinking, on the next gen consoles on PlayStation 5.
How much do you want to bet it gets pushed back?
It could, but I'm also thinking that it will definitely. Either way, Drake, I think it's going to be
May 29th.
Oh, okay.
2020.
So, whoa, what?
Huh?
What? That's
That's
sooner.
what it says.
Stop it.
Yeah,
You're joking.
woo,
Read it again.
That's what it says.
Read it again. Say it again.
Tech Radar, which is reputable, 4 days ago.
We're talking. Yeah, this is the Last of Us 2 game, which people have been waiting for. We shouldn't even say what characters are alive in it. I don't want to say that for the sake of somebody who might be tuning in and wants to enjoy the show.
The Last of Us 2 was initially due to release on February 21st, 2020. However, Naughty Dog later announced that the game's release date was being pushed back to May 29th, 2020.
Wow.
Yeah!
Sooner than
Let's
we
go.
expected. Sooner than we expected. That's good. I'm excited. And Cyberpunk too. I'm super. Okay,
Yeah.
No more video game talk. What am I talking about? Let's move on. Hold on. A little bit more video game talk into turning it into. I don't know why I said that because I was not done. How dare I?
Continue.
So the other series that would be coming to HBO is another PlayStation property. Another thing.
Okay.
Obviously, you and I do not know what that is, but my hope, possibly, I think it'd be great. It'd be super unique, and it would just be cool.
What?
I'm losing my train of thought.
I don't know what you're talking about.
God of War, but I'm thinking telling it from the perspective of the first game, of the new game, and not from the old games, and simply refer back to those events that of what Kratos went through when he was killing the gods, the Greek gods. And it definitely has a very different tone, so they don't have to like worry about having something too similar to that of like Game of Thrones or something.
Right.
But whatever. It's annoying, but that's what they're gonna go through. That's the process that's gonna go through their. That's gonna be their thought process. Is they're gonna want to avoid having something that feels too much like their crown jewel that had a pitiful ending. They're gonna want to make sure they have something that's different. So I could see, personally, I would really like to see God of War 2 as another series.
I'm sure they'll make another one.
Another what?
God of War. Oh, you're saying God of War
Series.
2 as well.
2 as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, there's going to be another God of War game. No way that doesn't happen. Most
Okay,
people are idiots.
I see what you're saying.
But I'm just saying, yeah, because we don't know what the other series is that PlayStation has signed on with HBO with. I don't know if this is HBO Max or if this is just normal HBO. Hopefully, just
It better be normal HBO
and
or
not this cheap nonsense.
It better be.
What else? What was the other thing I texted you about?
Let me look.
What was the other thing I texted you? I can't remember. Something else. It was another thing. I'm totally spacing on.
You said, James Bond delay and the Lord of the Rings series.
Good. Okay, good. We got plenty of stuff to talk
Yes.
about then. Okay, so let's talk about James Bond first. James Bond. No Time to
It's
Die.
not a good sign that it got delayed.
Well, I know the real reason why it was delayed.
Okay.
It could have been also the test screenings, and perhaps it wasn't too good. I don't know if that's the real reason, but their stated reason is that they're trying to avoid. I think it's also a business thing where they're worried about the attention that the coronavirus has over the focus of their movie, because they're worried about. First of all, they're worried about the sake of the attention, people talking about it, but then also people going to the theaters to see it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to sort of have that risk of people, of the movie itself having the stigma of coronavirus around it, I guess. Do you know what I'm saying?
Not really.
It's a business decision. It's for the sake of attention and public health. Those are their two reasons.
But what does the James Bond movie have to do with?
Because it's all about public. Because Drake, a lot of time when any of the new Bond movies came out, they were for the most part a pretty big pop culture event. I would say, people would talk about them a lot. Just like if there was a Star Wars movie coming out, probably not to the same degree, but I'm just saying.
How far did they push it?
It's all about
again?
attention. To the fall.
When was it supposed to come out?
Very soon, like in a couple weeks. It was supposed to come
I guess. Is that reported the reason why?
That was one of the reasons. They're
Speculated
the real reason that they said their official one, not the real. But part of it is for the sake of public health. That was their.
I guess that's not.
That was their first reason.
But it still makes me feel.
I'm also thinking there could be two other reasons, or two reasons which should also make sense. One being that financial thing, for the sake of people focusing on the thought of the coronavirus instead of their movie being number one and what people were talking about in terms of like marketing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then also for the sake of possibly the movie sucks so bad that they are doing reshoots.
I don't know. I just think when something gets
That's
delayed so
possibility.
close to when it's
That's
supposed
why,
to come out,
that's
it's
why
a bad
at first
sign.
that's why at first I was thinking that it was probably because it sucked so much
Yeah.
that they were doing reshoots for it. That
Yeah.
was my first thought. That could be not what the actual reason is, but it could be. Or maybe it's an element of all three of them. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did you see that Daniel Craig still did the SNL? Because he still did it anyways, because they already had it scheduled instead of... So he did it... Because obviously they had the time for him to show up to be on SNL.
Yeah.
But since the movie was pushed back, he still did it anyways. Being months... Because normally when someone goes on SNL like that, it's to promote something.
Right.
And obviously he's missed... His promotion window is now further back. I just thought that was interesting. I mean, I guess you wouldn't want to cancel SNL, then you have to find another host and write a bunch more stuff, perhaps with them that host in mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. This
I know
series.
nothing. I mean, I know that it's happening, but I know nothing about it.
Okay, I know the timeline that they're looking at. So it is. They're not gonna. It's not in any way, shape, or form a remake of the original story. Thankfully.
Okay.
I would have been painfully uninterested.
Who's making Amazon? Right?
Amazon, yes. Amazon, this was announced a while ago, like way too long ago. Relative, if you want to see almost night and day difference between how fast one project started to another, look at The Last of Us, which I only heard about there being a series for it, like 2 weeks ago, maybe less than that? And they already are making, the script is already done or almost done or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
That fast?
And then you see the Lord of the Rings series, which I heard about 3 years ago. And now we still don't really know much at all.
I feel like
there was a lot of speculation.
I feel like with something like that has like so many big fans that they want to take their time and they really want to make sure they don't screw it up.
Yes.
Because it can be so bad for them if they do.
Originally, there was a thought process that each season focused on a small chunk of time in that perhaps revolved around or close to the events of the movies. That each season, this was the original thought process, is what people thought it was going to be, was that perhaps one season was going to focus on a younger Aragorn for an entire season,
Ugh.
and then another
And that's,
season
what's
would
his
focus
name?
on another
Vigo's character? Vigo?
V-Goats? The V-Goats character?
Viggo's
Viggo
character
Mortensen's
again?
character, yeah. Yeah, that's... You asking me that? Why are you asking me that?
Because I haven't watched those movies in so long. I
I think
needed
you
to.
need to. Give it
needed,
another look-see. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, that it was going to be one whole season would tell a story that takes place within the world of Middle-earth. That's what originally I had heard.
Yeah.
That was probably about a year or so ago. And now I know that it's actually takes place during the second age of Lord of the Rings. You don't know the lore
I
to
don't.
the degree that I do.
Lord of the Rings.
Thank you, Drake. That
You're
was
welcome.
stupid. So the first I almost said the first game. I'm still got video games in my mind. What's wrong with me? The original trilogy
Lord of the Rings
Lord of the
Conquest
Rings.
2.
The books. Just stop it.
Bring it back.
All right, that's enough out of you. All right. God, and the
You
Hobbit.
agree.
I agree with you,
Thank
but
you.
we keep going back to video games somehow every
Sorry.
time. Anyways, what was I saying? Okay, Lord of the Rings trilogy. Okay, takes place in the Third Age of Middle Earth. Their sort of timelines. Their time, however time passes in the world of Middle Earth. Whatever. I don't know everything. Whatever. What am I
What
saying?
are you
What am I
saying?
saying?
What was that?
Hello? So the Third Age of Middle Earth, that's where the Hobbit movies and the Lord of the Rings movies take place. In that area.
Yeah.
That chunk of time. It's several hundred years or several thousand years. Okay? And now this apparently takes place in the Second Age, which is several thousands of years before anything having to do with, not having to do, but before the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So I'm assuming Sauron would still be within this context, but I think the timeline that they're looking at is, remember in the beginning of the first movie, they show this event, sort of the first War of the Ring, where Sauron was first conquering Middle-earth when he had his physical body. It's like in the very beginning of the first movie, they talk about it. Galadriel,
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett is doing a voiceover,
Yeah.
narrating this event, and we're seeing Sauron clobber through men and elves. Remember, he's got his mace. Anyways, that event took place thousands of years before the events of the Hobbit and stuff, and that is what apparently is the focus, is the first sort of war for the ring,
That could be good. I just hope they don't screw it up.
I know,
But
but
I really like Lord of the
I was
Rings.
hoping they were going to go even further back because we already know essentially that they defeat Sauron because they cut his fingers off and
Yeah.
he loses the ring and then he loses.
Yeah.
I would have preferred them to perhaps taken a look more at the Silmarillion. You don't know anything about that, obviously, but in the Silmarillion stuff, they sort of look back of like where it's another book. It's not really even it's weird. It's not even like a true novel because it takes place. It's more of like a history book in a way of
Right.
Lord of the Rings. It's kind of weird, but where they take a focus on some of the events of like who Sauron's master was, like who made him, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting stuff. But I don't know. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping they were going to go even further back, or even perhaps take it in small scale. Look at something in a small scale
Yeah.
instead of the big picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely watch it. I just hope it's good. I know the budget's huge, right?
Yes, the budget's going to be big, which is
It
good.
better be.
You're going to need it for the sake of getting those effects to that high quality.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to look at it right now. Let's see. Lord of the Rings.
You know,
Here
you
we go.
have to have a huge budget.
I think they had a cast too. Nope, I'm wrong. Hello. Let's see. Oh, yep, they do. No way. Hold on. What? Where have I been?
What?
Mentally is what I'm saying. Okay, I'm looking at the cast. So they have J.A. Bayona. If you remember, he's the guy he's a director set to direct the series, or at least several episodes within it. So he directed The Impossible, if you remember that movie.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
He directed the movie The Orphanage. Two movies that aren't very good: Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, Ugh. And then A Monster Calls, which I also don't like.
You really wanted to see that though.
I don't know. I thought it looked interesting. He's directed some good stuff, but also some big flops.
I wouldn't call those movies big flops.
I'm saying
they still did well.
critically horrible. Is what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. So here's one of the cast members. This guy's called Robert Aramayo. Oh, this is the guy who played young Ned Stark in a flashback.
Yeah.
Are you gonna look at these with me?
I'm gonna look it up so I know.
This guy, he played in
idea.
in Game of Thrones. He played a young Sean Bean.
Scene Bean.
Scene Bean in a flashback.
Let's see.
Oh, it's right, Drake. He was also. Never mind. It's from Mindhunter season 2. You haven't watched that yet. I don't want to talk to you about that.
I don't know any of these people.
Don't worry about it. Who's this guy? Owain Arthur. I don't recognize him at all. No idea who that is. Nazanin Boniati. Oh, I recognize her. She was in that Hotel Mumbai movie. It's pretty good. I haven't seen her in that show. Counterpart. What's this guy? Tom Budge. He looks familiar. Yeah, he's a lot of smaller characters. Obviously, they have no names of who they are.
I don't recognize any of these people.
I'm gonna keep looking here. Who's this? Moyfred Clark. Oh,
Do
she's
you
gonna
recognize
be.
these people?
Oh, okay. So the girl in that Saint Maud movie.
Oh
is in this?
yes.
That girl's
I'm
in this.
excited for that. When does that come out?
2020.
No. Oh yeah.
Who else? Who's this guy? Ismael Cruz Cordova. He looks familiar. Who is this guy? Oh, that's what he was in. He was in that movie Mary, Queen of Scots that I had to watch for a class. Blech. Not too good.
Saint Maud.
Saint Maud. That's that weird movie. You should explain that movie.
I don't really understand fully.
The best of your ability.
Basically, okay, so there's the nurse of a dying patient, and
Or-
she's like,
I thought she was in like a hospice care, right? Or something. Is that where she is?
probably,
Okay,
but
sorry.
she's like an
Yeah.
at-home nurse,
Yep.
and she's like super, 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 super religious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that she like gets obsessed with like somehow saving her. and then it's like a horror movie.
Yeah, there's some sort of
When's it come out?
supernatural connection or something going on with her, and her connection with, I don't know if it's God or something other than.
When does it come out? April 10th.
It looked like when I looked at the movie, it said it came out in 2019. So what did it have, like a
slender but unholy cross between First Reformed and The Exorcist. That's two movies.
That's what it says?
That's what a reviewer said.
Oh, here's another cast member for.
It came out in the United States at Fantastic Fest in 2019.
Fun.
And it was in a couple festivals in 2019.
That's what I'm guessing then. Yeah, it must have been at a bunch of festivals.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another guy. You don't recognize him. He was also in Game of Thrones. This guy's named Joseph Mowell. That's in the Lord of the Rings series. Recognize this guy?
No.
What? You don't watch Game of Thrones? Actually, he was in some of the only episodes you ever saw.
You know that I don't watch
He was in the
Game of
first
Thrones.
season, actually. I know, you won't know that. Who's this guy? Tyro. It's a little boy. Little child. Okay, who else?
I don't recognize these people.
This is for me, okay? Sophia Nomvet. I don't recognize her. Nope, don't know who that is. Who's this? Megan Richards. Oh, yeah, good old Megan. No idea who this is. Another child. Why am I doing this? Good question. It's from my own curiosity. Dylan Smith. This guy looks familiar. Nope, never mind. He doesn't. He looked like another guy. Drake, almost done. Here we go. 3 more people. Charlie Vickers.
Why are you even reading these people off? You don't know who they are.
I don't know. Oh, he's in a picture with Sean Bean.
Scene Bean.
I don't remember which one he is. Oh, he's this guy.
None of this means anything to me. I have no idea what.
Here, let's look at that one.
What or who or.
Here we go. 2 left. Daniel Wayman. I don't know who this is. Oh, Wayman.
Payman?
He looks like a very British actor. Look at the 4 things that he's in.
The most British things
possible. The most
possible.
British-looking shows I've ever seen. Look at that. Look at their posters. Nothing
that
is
one's
more
just
British.
a flag.
That's literally
this
the flag.
one is the most British-looking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Look, this even has the BBC. Look at all the most British things you could possibly see.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's funny. One more. Here we go. Maxim. What's the name? Maxim Baldry. This guy looks familiar. What have I seen him? Oh, that's what he's from. He's in Rome. He plays.
Yeah, so I don't.
Plays a kid in Rome. Super good show. You'll never watch it. He was
Amazing.
just a little boy in that. Now he's he's a dude.
Okay, I think we've exhausted this.
He's in Mr. Bean's Holiday. How could you not like this guy?
Okay, I had something I wanted to
Let's
discuss.
hear it, Jake. Tell me a story.
Have you heard about the movie The Hunt?
No.
So you haven't heard about the controversy surrounding it?
That is correct. I don't know.
So, and it's coming out next weekend.
Okay.
And I'm not all that interested, but I want to see it just because of how controversial.
Is the poster of a pig on it?
Correct.
Okay, I know what the poster looks like.
So basically, and I'll get to the poster, but basically, it's a movie about rich liberal people.
Okay.
Who capture and set wild in this contained forest, poor conservative people, and then they hunt them for sport.
Okay, well then it's just a horror movie.
But they make a very big, if you watch the trailer, they make the political side of things super, super important.
Okay. From whose point of view do you think the movie was made? From that of a conservative?
It almost seems like it's super conservative.
From a conservative route, showing.
But it has people in it who I'm kind of I'm surprised that they would do this movie. But anyways,
but
what's his name?
It has a message that is highly negative. You're saying within its trailer.
I believe that's what it seems like.
Yeah,
what's his name? Dennis from It's Always Sunny's in it. He plays one of the rich guys. The dude who was on Mad TV.
You're gonna have to give me names. I have no idea.
He was the funniest part of Blockers. He was one of the dads.
Oh, the guy with the gap in his teeth.
Yes, he's one of the conservative
exactly
people.
What you're talking about.
what's her name is in it. I have to look it up. But anyways, the controversy. This was supposed to come out, and then like a mass shooting happened, and then they pushed it off, and then people were like, "Don't." And so the poster's the pig, and then they have a bunch of quotes like from reviewers like, "This is the most disgusting movie. Like this is like glorifies violence. This is everything wrong with society. Like this, that, and the other thing." And like they're marketing it based off of the controversy. Like the trailers,
that seems strange.
Like the trailers like the movie that nobody wanted you to see, like the most controversial movie of 2020, like boom, but like they're really going hard.
Okay, so here's the thing: if we're hearing this many people talk about it like that, then I feel like there has to be something in it. But like when it came to Joker, that wasn't warranted because that was just ignorant people who didn't
Hilary
see the movie
Swank is
talking
in it.
about it. But there must be something then to it, to that
Hilary
degree.
Swank is in it. It's directed by a guy who directed an episode of American Gods and an episode of Westworld.
Okay. I don't know what that really says about
That's
this person.
all. So yeah, Hilary Swank, Ike Barinholtz, Christopher Barry. He looks like he's in Walking Dead.
Let me see.
Yep. No. Never mind.
Let me see.
He's not in Walking Dead.
Well, I just want to see his face anyways now. Now I'm curious.
Yes, he is in Walking Dead.
He is in Walking Dead.
Yeah, I saw the section. I go, it looks like he's greasy. It looks exactly.
He gets blown up in Walking Dead. He is in Walking Dead.
He's in it.
He looks greasy, so you immediately thought Walking Dead?
Yeah, the guy that plays Dennis.
Who else?
This guy is also in Walking Dead.
Let me see. Oh, that guy! He was in Walking Dead briefly, but remember he plays the priest in Insidious, was it 3?
This guy's in it.
Oh my god, Drake's just showing me all these
I love this
people.
guy.
Let's see. Oh! Hold on!
Blue Ruin and Green Room.
Green Room, Blue Ribbon. Yeah.
Blue Ribbon, Blue Ruin.
Sorry. Calm down, okay? It was a mistake of my words.
Yeah, here we go. Here, 12 strangers wake up in a clearing. They don't know where they are, and they don't know how they got there. They don't know they've been chosen for a very specific purpose, the hunt.
That doesn't sound that bad from its plot description. It just sounds like a horror movie.
Okay, just watch the
survival
trailer.
horror movie.
Here we go. It was believed the film was originally going to be called Red State versus Blue State, but then later denied by Universal.
That's what they were going to call it?
The film's release date was postponed from August 10th following 2 mass shootings.
It could be just simply the movie sucks. That could just be the only thing that we get from this movie.
Watch the trailer and you'll know what I mean.
Right now? Just kidding.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the official tagline.
Oh, God.
The most talked about movie of the year is one that no one's actually seen.
So, hold on.
It's not the most talked about movie of the year.
And I haven't even heard of it. Not saying to like,
I'm surprised you haven't.
I'm the highest degree that you could possibly get to.
But anyways, it comes out March 13th.
But it's strange
this weekend.
That I've never heard of it.
Let's go.
I'm good.
You're not going to go see the most controversial movie of the year? I'm going. Woo!
I'm
Dennis, Walking Dead guys. And the Blue Ruin guy. I'm going.
I said Blue Ribbon.
Blue Ribbon.
I really like that movie. That movie's good.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Can we talk about that movie for a second?
Blue Ruin?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a while. I told you to watch it. I knew you were going to like it.
I did watch it.
I know.
So a guy, he's kind of a dorky dude. What happens again? His wife? His wife gets murdered, right?
He wants revenge on some guy that gets released out of prison.
Yes, and they did something to him.
Let me look up this
and he attempts to get this guy, but what ends up happening is the family of this guy that he's pursuing then pursues him. And he is a pretty dorky dude who tries to arm himself for this sort of battle with this very criminal and not so friendly family that are very tight-knit with each other. But it's pretty good.
Let's see.
Really good, actually. It's from the director of Green Room. It was a movie that came out before that movie. Also, a good movie.
A mysterious outsider's quiet life is turned upside down when he returns to his childhood home and to carry out an act of vengeance. Proving himself an amateur assassin, he winds up in a brutal fight to protect his estranged family.
That's much better than what I was
Jeremy Saulnier. This guy makes good films.
saying. Can I see his face?
He directed something you're not going to like.
Okay, what? Just say it.
He directed, so he directed Blue Ruin, obviously, and he
Mhm,
directed
Green
Green
Room,
Room,
yep.
obviously. Then he directed Hold the Dark,
Show me a picture.
which is
Hold the Dark.
this awful Netflix movie with the guy you really like.
Oh. Ugh.
That had one good scene,
Yeah,
the
just see the
shootout.
shootout at the end.
And he directed 2 episodes of
What?
True Detective.
Great show. Wait. Which season? Season 2?
Yeah.
Ugh. The worst season.
Okay, but his next 2 movies sound really good.
Let's hear it.
Especially, okay,
Give me
so
the spiel.
there's one, The Defection, a drama mystery. CIA hires a charismatic case officer from the Cold War era to track down a contractor who defected to North Korea with a mysterious bag.
Okay.
But I'm really excited for
I'm
this
down.
next one.
It's Blue Ruin-ish.
And I'm really excited because it has Don Johnson in it, and I love Don Johnson.
Don Johnson.
Action thriller. High velocity thriller that explores systematic American injustices through bone breaking action sequences, suspense, and dark humor.
Okay.
That sounds awesome.
Speaking of Don Johnson, why don't you watch Watchmen?
I did, remember?
They stole
I
it
watched
from
a
our
couple.
name. They stole it from
Yeah,
us.
I watched a couple. Yeah, I watched a couple episodes,
Yeah.
but then, to my chagrin, I got tired of it again.
Thanks, Drake. That's a drama, so you should.
I really like Don Johnson, though, and I really like the guy that was in Holes.
Oh, in the show.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
And he's, I wish
very
that guy
small
was in
part from
more.
Holes.
I
agree.
really
I like him.
He was a huge part in Holes. He was like the main antagonist.
No, the main antagonist is John Voight, isn't it?
But watch it again. The dude carries out all of the bad
watch
things.
it again. That's what you just told me.
Yeah,
Dude,
Holes
watch
is
it
a great
again.
movie.
To rewatch it for the sake. John Voight's the main guy.
Yeah, but everyone that has bad interactions.
He's his main minion.
Yes, and he's a
Fine.
big character. I don't know why.
Fine, whatever. He's also in the Incredible Hulk, everyone's favorite superhero movie.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, Drake, you want to take a look ahead?
yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I need to go to the bathroom. So.
Okay,
let's
so
do
we'll
this.
wrap up.
Yeah, I need to go.
Let's see.
Let's take a look here.
Upcoming. So we got The Hunt.
Our favorite movie.
God, I hate the new app. Here we go. Bloodshot, which looks horrible. The only thing I'm excited for this weekend is The Hunt. And I don't even know if I'm excited. I just want to see it. Next weekend looks rough, too. It's led by A Quiet Place 2, which I will not be seeing. The weekend after that, Mulan. Huh. What?
You should look at your IMDb badges.
Where?
Go to your oh, you don't have your laptop with you. You have the mobile version.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at these. So look at all these badges I have.
You didn't even listen to anything I said.
No, I totally didn't absorb it. I was looking at this. What?
This guy died
Who? What? Somebody's dead? Who?
16 hours ago.
Let me see. Who?
Oh,
Show me.
I like this guy.
Let me see his face. Let me see. Max von Sydow's dead?
Yeah,
What?
correct. 2020, 16 hours ago.
Max von Sydow is dead.
Yep.
That sucks.
I'm
thought he was
very
I
surprised.
thought he was
going
going to go on forever.
I'm
You're
very
surprised I knew his
he
name?
name. Yeah.
Why? Because he's in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Don't you remember him in Shutter Island
Yeah, of course I do.
and other stuff? I'm forgetting. I just know his name because he's got a very unique German cool name.
Max von Sydow.
Sydow, not Stido.
Max von Sydow.
Nope, not Stido. Sydow.
Max von Sydow. I
No.
can't say it. What is it?
Max von Sydow.
Max von Sydow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Look at this. Participant in one of our beta tests. Aw. IMDb staff member. What does that mean?
You're a staff
IMDb
member. Congrats.
Helping other IMDb users often with high quality, positive advice. Oh, thank you. Top reviewer, awarded to the top 1,000 reviewers who are recognized for contributing hundreds of reviews. I haven't done that. Oh, I haven't gotten those.
I was gonna say.
Oh, because it needs to have the bold thing underneath it. I get it. I get the 10-year IMDb badge. Member. 10 years now, I guess. That seems... No way. What? Okay, maybe.
2010? Yeah.
Rate the Oscar highlights film...
Anyways, back to the question you asked me.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Rate the...
I'll just leave then. Thank you for listening to The Watchmen, everyone. You've been listening to 91.7 The Edge, WSUW Whitewater.
Thank you.
Come on, sign us out. Come on.
Oh, but I'm looking at this
Too
still.
bad. You can
All
watch
right.
badges on your own time.
Watchmen is over. It's a sad day.
Stay warm out there, folks.
Stay warm. It is nice out. It's nicer out.
Don't worry about it.
What do you-
Stay dry.
that's your advice?
Stay dry out there, folks.
What if it's not raining where they are?
And if you're one of the only, if anyone hears this broadcast, we're trapped in Whitewater.
What is that? What is this supposed to be?
I'm from I Am Legend. If anyone's out there listening.
What are you talking about?
Remember in I Am Legend, he
No.
always goes over the radio?
Yeah, but why'd you have a southern accent when you started doing it?
I don't know. Came to me. I'm an actor, so I went with instincts.
Well, actors are good at
All
southern
right.
accents.
Oh, that's funny. You're really funny, and
Thank you.
everyone
Okay,
here is
bye.
laughing. You got the whole squad laughing.